Oh, Jesus.
And welcome to Horror Tube. I'm Josh.
And I'm Rob. And we're high.
And we're actually back again.
And we're back again. Woo. We got a lot on the docket today.
Oh, yes.
But first we should say, yes, we are high. This is Horror Tube. This is our loosey-goosey show. As you can hear, there's birds chirping in the background.
Snow melting.
Snow melting. This is our ASMR cast, our relaxed podcast. Sir, what were we smoking on from you today?
It was called Juicy Fruit.
Yes, still the juicy fruit. Love that stuff. I also had some Kushberry, so that's pretty fantastic. And we didn't take any of the pen yet, but if we decide that we want some, that's a hypothermic huckleberry.
And it's delish.
And it's delish. So, yeah. We've got a pretty packed show today. We're going to be talking about South Jersey GEEKFEST, which is coming up. We're going to talk about our horror Mount Rushmore. And we also have some horror Mount Rushmores from some other people as well.
Yeah.
Because got some interesting results. And then we're going to discuss The Rock's promo last night on Smackdown because
that made Rob very mad.
That made me have a rant, and I'm probably gonna rant about it today too. And then we're gonna end the show revealing. Well, no, we're gonna end the show talking about the Superb Owl or the Super Bowl, and this is gonna be our final football talk for 7 months.
Oh, it makes me so sad.
Unless we actually decide to talk about the UFL, but we got to make sure that that's not absolute shit first.
Yep. And when does that start?
Like in a few weeks, like in April or something. So I think it's like right after WrestleMania or some shit like that.
Gotcha.
And then we're going to reveal episode 60 of Horror Wars, and then we're going to hit you with the Chuck Wooler and get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so as I just said, South Jersey GEEKFEST is coming up on March 30th, and it is going to be at 10 a.m. and it will be at the Gateway Regional High School in Woodbury Heights, New Jersey, 08096. We have tables there. We will be there. This is our first con. This is awesome.
Woo! Finally.
Yeah, so we will be there. We will be doing some shows from there. We're going to actually... I have to get everybody together in a group chat so that way we can... Because I think I told you, like, I want to actually structure everything this year. And, yeah, try to get some stuff going on. You know, figure out some giveaways. Figure out, the live portion of how we're going to do things. Just get everything together, and it's going to be a fun event. Still have no idea what I want to name it yet, like, because it's the spring event, and we know Sam Hain's Havoc. Do we know about Sam Hain's Havoc?
Oh, yeah.
But we can't talk about that yet. That's October, but we already know everything we're doing for that. Yeah, so this one, I don't know what to name it yet. I don't know if you have any thoughts, but if you do, don't talk about it right now.
Okay.
Just wait till I don't want to...
For later.
Yeah. So, with that being said, why don't we hop into our horror Mount Rushmore?
Oh, yeah.
Because this is a topic. This is a serious topic to a lot of people. And it can go in many different directions.
It's very interesting. So Rob asked, it was on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I asked on Facebook, yeah.
He asked what other people's horror Mount Rushmores were.
Yeah.
But because he wasn't specific, he didn't say like a character or movies in general. Other people answered, and from what he told me, they sound super different. And it's crazy to think how people interpret these kind of questions.
Yeah, it is.
And it's awesome.
Because when you think of horror Mount Rushmore, immediately people want to go like the character route. Like the horror character route. Or the slasher route.
Which I did.
Right. Which is a common way to go. But there were a couple people where they just went to actors
Yep.
or writers or a mixture of actors, writers, directors, movies, like influential movies. Like it was very interesting, the scope of what I got. So how we're going to present it, I guess, is going to be me and Josh are going to present our first rock, second rock, third rock, and fourth rock.
Yep.
I guess
our list of doom, but
our list of doom, but it's going to literally just look like a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Like that's how you're going to have to say it. So and then after that, I'll spout out some of the stuff that people talked about on Facebook or sent me in Messenger or whatever.
And for those who don't know, the list of doom is on our other show, Horror Wars, which is on Spotify.
Yeah, hell yeah. And we love doing List of Doom.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Even when we have a bad episode.
Yep.
Well, not a bad episode, but like a bad versus like a war, because the movies are dog shit. We know that that the List of Doom is going to be great because it was romantic horrors this past episode, and man, that killed it. That fucked right there. That was absolutely awesome. So yeah, who is your first rock on your horror Mount Rushmore, or do we want to go 4, 3, 2, 1? Like, because the first rock is going to be your lead rock.
Okay, I like first rock because on Horror Wars we do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so we can go for this one 1 to 4. Boom.
Okay, so then the number one rock is still your favorite at this point, right? This is your favorite part of Mount Rushmore. Okay, so what's your number one?
To no one's surprise, it's Jigsaw from Saw. I feel like just the Saw franchise, when you think of them, I always think of Jigsaw. Tobin Bell always does a fantastic job as him.
Yeah.
And Saw is just one of those franchises that I love, and it's just so influential.
Yeah, no.
So
I totally agree with you on this one. Is there any other reason? Like, is that okay? That's it. Now for me, I went in a direction that is characters.
Oh, yes.
But I didn't go in direction of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I went with the ones that scared me.
Okay.
So for it to scare me, that's why it's there. Like, I was actually like, wow, this is...
Okay.
At some point in my life, this character scared the shit out of me.
Well, that's what I thought of the idea for this, because it's all interpretation.
Right. So my number one is Chucky.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because when I was little, I've told this story plenty of times, I had a My Buddy doll.
On the first episode of Horror Wars, by the way.
Which is going to be remade, by the way.
Yes.
We will discuss that soon.
Yep.
But be prepared. Quick little nugget on here. We're going to be getting ready to redo old episodes of Horror Wars.
Yep.
And they're going to be a blast, because we're going to do them with the format that we have now.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be very different.
Yep.
So if you have been following us since the beginning, or if you have been wanting us to go back and redo some old episodes, or all the old episodes, I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
We're doing it.
Yep.
We're doing it very soon.
Yep.
So we're going to start with one of them. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be in the same order.
Right.
So you're going to just get a random one. It'll be... We already know the name of it.
Yep.
It fits perfectly.
Yep.
Everything is great. So that sidebar aside real quick, Chucky. I've said it plenty of times, like you said on the first episode of Horror Wars. I was petrified. I thought that the fucking doll was gone, and then I found it in the closet. It mentally traumatized me.
Yeah, I don't blame you, bro. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. I was like fucking, like I said, 5 years old, man. That shit is... Like, fuck you, man. All right. What's your second rock?
Also, I wanted to add to what you said. Okay. Technically, I didn't pick Jigsaw because he's my favorite. I went more of the influential route towards horror.
Okay,
so,
you're influential.
Yes.
Like, what influenced your... Like, your top influences character-wise?
Plus that, and what I feel like are characters that don't feel like get enough recognition, like how most people would be like Freddy, Jason, Michael.
Right.
I feel like, and you'll see, and I'm about to explain my second rock.
Okay.
Which would be Ash Williams.
All right.
Because without Ash, we wouldn't have all of these Evil Dead movies. I know it comes down to creators, but if we didn't have the charm of that character, it wouldn't have got enough love through the years to get the 2013 remake that we all love.
Right.
So I feel like Ash Williams would be perfect for that.
Yeah. That's righteous. I dig that. I like that. My second rock.
Oh yeah.
Is Freddy Krueger.
Okay, what about it?
I saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street when I was also very young. It came out the year I was born.
Oh Jesus!
So by the time I was like 6 or 7 years old, I had gotten over like a lot of my fears when it came to horror movies.
Right.
But Nightmare on Elm Street 1 was not my first experience with Freddy. And I've told this a couple times, but not 100%. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was my first experience with Freddy.
Oh shit! Okay.
The vein scene,
yeah,
was legit one of my first interactions with Freddy. I had gotten into the movie, like I walked into it, and I was like, "What the?" That was the first time I had ever seen anything like that.
Yep.
Really happen, and it mortified me. And then, welcome to prime time, bitch, all that shit. I was like, what am I, but you got to think, being exposed to Chucky and then Freddy, and then like, oh my god, this is why I am the way I am with horror movies, so that's my second rock.
And I'm pretty sure we talked about that on the episode we did of the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, we did. We talked I think
just a little bit about that scene.
Yep.
I think we were just kind of talking.
Yeah, it was just a little minor bullshit in here and there. Yeah, So, who's your third rock?
It's actually a xenomorph. I feel like Alien is one of the best, I guess, space horrors out there, and I feel like it kind of carried that genre a bit. Yeah. Because while you have like the Predator series and all that, I've kind of leaned more towards the Alien part because it's a lot more of like beastly alien kind of things.
Okay.
So yeah, I've just always felt like the xenomorphs don't get the recognition they deserve, even though I feel like they're a huge influence in horror, especially space horror.
No, I can agree with you. I think if it wasn't, like you said, if it wasn't for Josh just shadow boxed his heater, because as we said, we are outside and we got a space heater out here. Yeah, what the fuck was I gonna say now? My third rock? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember where we were going in the conversation. I'm sorry for whatever train of thought we just lost right there. Shit.
We are baked.
Yeah. My third rock is the Hell Priest, or Pinhead.
Yes, dude. He was gonna be an alternate.
Really?
I had a couple choices. It was tough, trust me.
Okay, then no. I don't need to say anything about this. Again, I'm young when I'm seeing these characters for the first time.
Right.
So seeing this shit at like 5, 6, 8, this is when I really started loving horror. But yet, I was still scared when I watched it. You know what I mean? I was young, impressionable, and this shit looked fucking real as hell.
Yeah, bro. That series is scary as fuck.
And I didn't have the benefit of like what I did with Lily. Because when Lily was young, I showed them, hey, look, this is how video games are made. This is how movies are made, because I had the benefit of YouTube to show behind the scenes things. We didn't have that in 1991 or 1989. We weren't. It was a different kind of wiring, and literally it's one of those things where it's like you kind of had to be there. Because I was one of those stupid fucking kids, and I've talked about this before, where I would be listening to Boss 97.3 and listen to the fucking Bat Dance by Prince and think that by the time I made it inside, MTV would have still been playing the music video.
Right.
That's how your brain kind of correlates that type of shit when you're little.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my number 3 is the Hell Priest or Pinhead, because, Jesus wept and all, like, I didn't understand what I was watching, but I knew it scared the shit out of me.
Right. It's funny that we're talking about that series, because I just recently seen for the first time the one that has Henry Cavill in it.
Oh, wow.
And the dude, and the main bad guy is, I don't even know his name, but he was actually in Alien.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Hellraiser that was, but yeah, I just recently seen that.
I don't want to say which one it is because honestly, I don't. It might be Judgment. It might be Hell. Or
It's like the one with the video game.
Yeah, I don't know. Hell. Okay, wait, no, not Bloodline. I don't remember.
I don't know, but Henry Cavill, Superman.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know which one you're talking about, but again, with Hellraiser, there's literally 10 of these movies.
That's his name, right? Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who is your fourth rock?
It is Ghostface.
Hey.
Look, people can think it's just because, Scream is your favorite, but it is one of the most influential movies like ever, dude.
Yeah.
Before I had ever even seen that movie, ever in my life, I have seen the Ghostface mask a million times.
Yep.
I knew what it was before I ever seen the damn series.
Yep.
There's just no way I couldn't have it on there. I had an alternate. It was going to be from The Ring.
Samara.
Yeah. Because I just felt like that started the Japanese remasters to kind of be more popular in America.
No,
or start to come out. So
you're 1000% correct again. Like all of your choices for how you view the Mount Rushmore that you were telling are completely fucking justified.
Thanks,
like 100%. Like straight up. And I feel like mine are kind of
I'm excited to hear your number one or your
my number
fourth.
Four.
Your
my
fourth rock.
Number 4. Yeah, my fourth rock. If you want, we can go into it right now.
Oh yeah.
Candyman.
Oh yeah.
Candyman is my fourth rock. Candyman scared the absolute shit out of me when I was little because I think Candyman is one of the last vestiges of me being a fearful person with horror.
Yeah.
I waited to watch Candyman again because I saw it when I was younger and I remembered it like petrifying me. I waited almost 20 fucking years to rewatch Candyman because when the 2021 one came out, I wanted to see it so bad because I remembered how horrifying the original Candyman was.
Nope.
And I had never watched 2 and 3 because it scared me.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck it. I went back and I rewatched Candyman 1. It took everything in me to rewatch that movie. And then when I did, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good now. One of my hugest fears
conquered.
Like in the realm of horror movies. So
I like that. I like that it shows a bit of your past with horror.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that all those films were on like your scariest movies.
Well, again,
from back then, of course.
Because I don't get afraid of horror really much anymore.
Same.
It's got to be a lot, and it's mainly psychological ones now that tend to like Smile. Smile stuck with me for a few days.
Right.
But that's only because of the looks on their faces, the depth of the mentality of things. Beyond the surface level horrors are what are really affecting me now. And again, it's not affecting me in like the, oh God, I'm so scared. I'm just remembering when, damn, this is when I was scared.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to pay homage to those characters for my Mount Rushmore. Because when I was younger, that was it. Like by the time I turned 10 years old, I was a fucking horror movie veteran.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it to some people that might be sad to say. I don't know.
Right.
But I love horror movies, and I've loved horror movies damn near my entire fucking life. You know? So that's that.
Very nice.
High five on our list.
Very, very nice.
Because they were fucking dope. So real quick, before we move on to The Rock, after we've been talking about these rocks for the last 20 minutes.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Tip my hat. Curtsy. I posted, as Josh said last night, who's your horror Mount Rushmore? The first one... Oh, I'm sorry. Had to yawn there, my bad. The first one is from Tiffany Hickman. And she put Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger.
Okay.
Well, Michael Myers, Frederick J. Krueger, Charles Lee Ray,
Okay.
and Victor Crowley. So she went with the characters before they were horrifying villains.
Mm-hmm.
She also put down John Kramer, but Mount Rushmore ends at 4.
Right.
So John Kramer would be
The
her alternate. That's a really cool way to look at it too.
Yeah.
You know? Then Sam, Mr. Mass MC from the England land, from across the transatlantic connection, said Freddy, Jason, Pennywise, and Nosferatu. He goes, I don't know. I'm just saying stuff.
I mean, it's good.
Hey, it's good. I'm fine with that. And then Seth, I'm gonna attempt his last name, but it says Holschlag here. I can never ever pronounce his last name right. I don't think. He said whoever wrote The Grudge is first. The Insidious writer is second. Third would be the Paranormal Activity writer, and fourth is Stephen King. And if I can do fifth, Lovecraft. I know this sounds like a shitty take, but I'm talking in aspects of movies and people who actually terrified me.
I mean,
It's not a shit take. Oh, goddamn, sorry.
We're all allowed. It's basically our Mount Rushmores are just our opinions.
It's our opinions.
Literally.
And that's
we're all
why
allowed.
that's why I said on Horror Wars last week, everybody has a Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
Everybody has a Mount Rushmore. Couple more real quick. Jossie, he went with directors and writers.
Okay.
He went with Wes Craven, John Carpenter,
Yep.
Eli Roth,
Okay.
and Stephen King.
See, and like I tried to guess as you were reading them, and they were all completely different. And it's a
Yep.
fantastic Mount Rushmore.
Yep. And then he said that if he was going to go with characters, it would be Freddy, Michael, Jason, and Candyman.
See, again.
So, yeah. Steve went with slashers. He went with Chucky, Jason, Freddy, and then he also went with Jack Torrance. So,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Rose went with Leatherface, Michael Myers, Jason, and Jigsaw. Okay.
Hey, Jigsaw. Hey.
And Lily went with movies, like
Okay.
defining movies. Couldn't think of a fourth one because at this point they were very, very high. But I do like the 3 that they said.
Okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street,
Okay.
The Shining, and Us. As
Okay.
like super defining. I also think that Hereditary is going to be on their list,
Yeah.
or Midsommar,
Mm-hmm.
because those are 2 favorite horror movies of theirs. So yeah, I think I like the differences
Yeah.
in opinions and the
Yep.
differences in things and like how people chose to do their list. So shout out to everybody that did that quick little research, like quick little
Yeah.
social
Oh, yeah.
experiment that I posted.
It's always nice to see how other people feel, because like when we do Horror Wars, like we don't necessarily know if people are like, oh yeah, I agree or whatnot. But
Right, that's why we do the poll.
Right, but for this, it's nice to actually see how different everyone's like thought process is with the question alone, and then the difference in who
And how they
picked.
interpret
Right.
the question. Yeah, I think it's fucking dope.
Oh yes.
So, yeah. Now that we've gotten 4 rocks out of the way, let's talk about the fucking 5th one. And what rustled my goddamn Jimmy so much last night. So I'm going to go to the post in question that Josh saw that really riled me up. I even tagged him in it. I know he'll never see it, but I definitely tagged him because, I ain't no punk bitch. If he's going to beat my ass, he can beat my ass. But I said, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, your promo makes no fucking sense. Cody Rhodes literally won the Rumble and is allowed to pick the opponent he wants. You're talking a tall glass of fucking idiot juice right now. Goddamn out of touch shit like this is wild. Maybe get a scriptwriter that pays attention to the fucking product so you're not out there talking about privilege and, quote, not understanding how the world and business works, end quote. Clearly you're the one that didn't understand basic logic and storytelling, and now you look like the biggest idiot. So, the reason I said that is because he's literally out there telling Cody, you lost last year, so you don't get to choose this year. You don't get to do anything this year. The motherfucker won the Rumble, which literally is the whole thing. You win the fucking Rumble and you choose who you're going after. He chose Roman Reigns. That's literally how it works. That's been how it's worked since 1993. You fucking idiot. This man literally owns this business now. He is on the board of fucking directors, and he's like, nah, fuck 30 years of history. You don't get to do shit because I said so.
Hey man, he was in the Fast and Furious.
And on top of that, he cut off the fucking sleeves of his Versace shirt.
Oh my god.
From like 1999 and came out there acting like that version of The Rock. And he was like, you don't get to chant with The Rock. You're booing me. You're doing this. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my fucking god. It's not working. It's not working. Please, please. Pick a different ride because the one that you're taking us on right now fucking sucks. No, I was
gonna say, so what's happening because of that? Like,
dude, he's just trying to, like, a few weeks ago he was on Pat McAfee's show, or like 2 weeks ago, talking about the Cody crybabies and all this shit. We talked about this, and he's trying to drum up all this interest for WrestleMania, which is fine. It's great, but you go in there talking about shit like that, and about how Cody thinks he's got privilege, and about how, you know, he needs to get to the back of the line because he doesn't deserve anything, and he's not the one that should be going after Roman, the head of the table, and this and that. Motherfucker, get a scriptwriter that pays attention to the product.
Yeah.
Because you're literally just going out there and talking nonsense. His promo was 20 fucking minutes, and if you go out there and you watch this promo, none of it makes sense. None of it. It's one of the most jarring and out-of-touch storytelling moments I think that the WWE's had in about 5 years.
Holy shit. Well, what was the one before this?
Oh God, I don't.
I figured.
It's just Look, I've had about 30 years of WWE trauma, so I don't look. 5 years ago was what? We're 2024, 23, 22, 21, 2019. So we're still talking about every Monday Night Raw, nobody knowing what's happening 5 minutes before the show goes on air. It really wasn't until 2021, after the pandemic shit, that WWE kind of got their shit together.
Oh shit.
And Triple H took over a lot of things. But yeah, dude, The Rock's promo was fucking ass last night. I'm sorry. Go back and watch it. Somebody please just watch it on YouTube and tell me that promo wasn't just the biggest bunch of dick cheese that you could have listened to on a Friday night at 9:40. Sorry. That didn't do shit to build WrestleMania. It didn't do nothing. It hindered it.
So what's the match going to be?
Nobody knows yet.
No.
They're saying that it's Cody versus Roman, but then they're also kind of promoting like fucking a tag team match. So I don't know if it's going to be The Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody.
Oh my god.
Or if it's going to be a fatal 4-way match for both championships to unify it. I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool.
I would love a fatal 4-way, and for both of those championships to be united, and then the new one to be the championship moving forward.
That'd be cool.
That would be amazing. That would be so fantastic. Because fuck this, man.
Ass meat.
It's ass meat. It's ass meat. The Rock was like, I'm going to take you sons of bitches on the biggest ride that you'll ever have going to WrestleMania. Motherfucker, this sucks. If this is your indication of the biggest ride going to WrestleMania, you failed. You fucking failed. Sorry. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We've only got 50 days. They need to pick this shit up.
That's it? Ooh, yeah, that sounded rough, dude.
We've only got 50 days to WrestleMania. So, but speaking of days, we've still got 7 fucking months until the next football game kicks off in Brazil.
Who's that game going to be? Do we know yet?
The Eagles versus ?
Okay.
I don't know if that's the season opener, because I know it's the Eagles season opener. It's their game 1. And I remember kind of reading somewhere that was the season opener.
I did not know that.
But yeah, it's the first ever game being held in Brazil, and the Eagles are playing in it. I don't know who the opponents are offhand right now.
Huh.
But I think the opponents have been named. But let's not talk about 7 months from now. Let's talk about a week ago. It's our final NFL game
Yep.
for months.
By this point, we all know that the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl again.
And both of us were wrong.
And yep, we were just wrong.
Because on Horror Wars, we made our final predictions literally the day before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And we both said the 49ers because, man, we were feeling it.
Yep. And then,
And the Chiefs did the Chiefs.
yep, and then you just lose in overtime.
You just lose in overtime because they didn't know the rules of overtime.
Yep.
Which is sad. How do you have, like, even a quarter of your team not understand overtime rules? And how do you not go over overtime scenarios while you're doing your warm-ups and your trainings and everything going into the Super Bowl? How do you not prepare for overtime?
The storylines, man.
Yeah. It's really absurd that you don't prepare for overtime.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depressing. Sad. Let's say the most earliest predictions for just our teams. We're not going to go Super Bowl yet.
Okay.
We're gonna wait until I think May to do it again, like we did this year, or like we did last year. You know, we'll go to May, and then once we find out, the teams, and once we find out schedules and all that shit, then we'll make our early predictions for that. But our teams, just as they are currently,
I think that the Steelers are going to have their first losing record in forever, and I think that's when Mike Tomlin's going to leave the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow. That's look, you told me that an hour ago, and I still don't know if I want to believe that, but
I just feel like with the route that this team is, I feel like that's how it's going to go.
yeah, it's a lot of downward trajectory right now.
I would love for me to be wrong, and
Right.
my favorite team to do well, but it's just like get to the playoffs and lose in the first round,
Right.
or it's just like, yay, a positive record,
And then
don't make the playoffs,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But I would say, I think for your team, I think they're going to make it to the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to make it in the playoffs.
Do you think they're going to make
Yes.
it to the wild card? You think they're going to replace the Buccaneers and
Yes.
make it to the wild card? But they're going to limp. They're not going to be they're literally going to be 7-10 going into the fucking playoffs. They're going to be horrible. The NFC South has no redeeming qualities. We are a trash division. We suck. We are the NFC East from about 4 years ago. So yeah, I can see what you're saying. I do think the Panthers are going to have more than 2 wins next season, especially because if the rumors are true that I'm seeing online, the Panthers are looking to do some trading and do some, shuffling to get into at least the second round of the picks this year.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any first round picks. We have
Which
nothing.
is crazy.
So, yeah, we're trying to do some wheeling and dealing to at least get into the second round. I don't know if they've got any plans to get into the first round or what they're going to trade away to get into the first round, but we really don't have anything. I don't know what the fuck anybody would want. None of our players performed or did anything great. We've got some decent names, but they didn't show anything, so we'll see. I'm glad you have hope for the Panthers.
I always have hope for the Panthers. I've wanted the Panthers to get back to the Super Bowl and win after the bullshit loss they had in the Super Bowl many years ago.
That's when we all realized how scripted this shit was about 8 years ago. Because there ain't no way. I'm not even gonna get to it. Right? I don't even want to talk about 15-1. I don't want to talk about any of it. I'm gonna get mad, and I'm feeling too good to be mad.
Okay. But I always want my friends' teams to make it. So
yeah, the same here, obviously.
oh yes.
Oh yes. And speaking of oh yes, why don't we? How are we feeling on everything? Are we?
Yeah.
Are we good? We're good. We just wanna reveal episode 60 here and get done.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So episode 60 of Horror Wars. We are going to be introducing a new feature.
Oh yeah.
Don't know if we're gonna need it, but we are going to introduce negative points.
Yes.
And if we do need negative points, we will explain negative
Yep.
points. Until we need negative points, we're not going to explain negative points.
Yep.
But this is the first time you guys are hearing about it. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, spooky cuties, harries, and homies, freaks, geeks, and everything in between, motherfucker butthole. This is the first time you guys are hearing about it, but it will be implemented if need be on episode 60 of Horror Wars. With that being said, episode 60 is an episode Josh is dancing over.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good one. Day of the Dead versus Day of the Dead. World War Z is Horror Club.
Oh yeah.
And Days Gone is our Horrors of Gaming.
Horrors of Gaming.
So obviously the list of doom is going to be something zombie related.
Yep.
But don't know exactly what route I want to go down yet, because I got to go check back the older episodes and see what those zombie lists were, so that way we don't do what we did a few weeks ago and kind of have the same thing repeat.
Yep.
But yeah, episode 60 of Horror Wars is going to be super fucking dope.
Yep.
Can't wait to do the event on March 30th.
Dude, and it's so close.
It's so close. Yeah, we're gonna start promoting it. Obviously, we've got a month and 10 days.
Yep.
This is how it works. So you're gonna hear us talking about it. With that being said,
we will see you in 2 and 2. Shout out to Chuck Woolery. I'm Josh.
I'm Rob.
And we'll see you next time on Horror Tube.
2 and 2. Be right back.